Hey guys, we're going to talk about functions. When you hear the word function, what do you think? Well, I hope you think job. Kind of a function is how does something work? What is this thing used for? And so I kind of like to think of functions as jobs. A function looks like this in math. I don't want you to be scared of it. It doesn't have to be scary. Functions can look like A of H. They can look like Z of R. They can look like K of L. But most of the time, a function is f of x. And that's how it's pronounced. It's said f of x. If it looked like this, it would be a of n. If it looked like this, it would be n of o. So if you ever see functions that look like this, I don't want you to be overwhelmed, but because they're almost always, a function looks like this, f of x. Now that we're completely finished with the overwhelming stuff, I'm going to show you how easy it can be. All it means is what is the function? What is the job of x? If I say f of x when x is 5, then I say f of 5, and I have some equation, 2x plus 6 times 10 plus 4. Then I use this 5 because the function of x is 5. So I take every x and replace it with a 5. 2 times 5 plus 6 times 10 plus 4 is 10 plus 4 is 14 times 6, 24, 8, plus 84 times 6. Well, 84 times 6 is 504. 10 plus 504, which is 514. Now, I bet at least half of you didn't follow that at all, and you're saying, Mrs. Givens, what is going on? So I'm going to back up, and I'm going to go a little slower this time. Let's say 2x plus 8. F of x equals 2x plus 8 when x is 9. So the function, the job of x is to be 9. So all I do is f of x equals 2 times 9 plus 8. F of x equals 18 plus 8 f of x equals 26. How about I use the exact same equation, but I say x is 14. Now I've got 2x plus 8, f of 14. F of 14. F of 14 equals 2 times 14 plus 8. F of 14 equals 28 plus 8. F of 14 equals 36. Let's say x is 2. So f of 2, the function of 2, the function of x when x is 2. 2 times, now let's write the whole thing. 2x plus 8. F of 2 is 2 times 2 plus 8. F of 2 equals 4 plus 8. F of 2 equals 12. Let's do another one. F of x, and let's say f of x equals 3x plus 1. And let's say x is 7. F of 7 is 3 times 7 plus 1. F of 7 is 21 plus 1. F of 7 equals 22. Let's say x is 5. Use the same one. F of x equals 3x plus 1. And now I want to say f is 5. X is 5. F of 5 equals 3 times 5 plus 1. F of 5 equals 15 plus 1. F of 5 equals 16. So all we're really doing is giving an x value. Solve when x is this. Solve when x is that. That's all we're doing. That's all you have to do. Do not let yourself get overwhelmed or nervous or scared when you see this scary, scary thing of f of x. All it is just a fancy way of saying when x is something, this is what I do with it. Now I'm going to get a little crazier. F of x. Whoops, I messed up on that. F of x is 2, let's say x plus 5 when x is odd, and 3x when x is even. Oh, Mrs. Gibbons, you're killing me. Okay, let me show you how easy this is. Let's say I want to find f of, sorry, f of 3. Well, let's look up here. Odd, even. Is the number 3 odd or is it even? It's odd. So when it's f of 3, and then it's x plus 5 when x is odd. X is 3 plus 5 when x is odd. So f of 3 is 8. Now let's do f of 4. Well, f of 4, let's see, 4 is an even number. It's 3x when x is even. So f of 4 equals 3x and x is 4. So f of 4 is 12. Let's do one more. Let's say f of x is 2 plus x when x is between 1 and 10. And f of x is x plus 6 when x is between 11 and 20. All right. I want to do f of 8 and f of 19. F of 8. Well, 8 is between 1 and 10. So I know that f of 8 is 2 plus x. I have to erase this so I can have room to work. F of 8 is 2 plus x, and my x is 8. So f of 8 equals 2 plus 8. F of 8 equals 10. Now, my other one was f of 19. F of 19. 19 is between 11 and 20. So I know that my f of 19 is going to be x plus 6. F of 19 is x plus 6. And my x is 19 because this is f of x. So f of 19 equals 19 plus 6. F of 19 equals 25. Yay! I hope that you guys stuck with it. I know I did that very first one really quickly, but then I tried to slow down and explain it to you step by step. All you have to do, the thing with functions is reading these things and really being able to understand what it means. Now, I have one more thing for you about functions. A function only has one answer, one solution. And we talked about this already. We did equations with no solution. We did equations with infinite solutions. We did equations with only one solution. A function can only have one answer. And the math words are input and output. You put one thing in the function and you get one answer out of the function. If it is possible at all for you to get two answers or more than two answers, it is not a function. It's not that you did your math wrong. You may have done everything correct on your math, but it's not a function. Let me show you how something could not be a function. If I've got a graph here, and I have something that looks like this. If I have my X right here, where is my Y? This is 1X, 2Y, right? This is X, Y. This would be, oh, sorry. This point right here is 1, 2. But look up here. This is also 1 and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 7. This is the same X. My X is my input, but I have two outputs. I have two of them. My output, Y, is my output, and I have two Y's. So this right here, if I were to write the equation of this U shape, it would not be a function. If you're, let's do another one. There we are. And here. Oh, I don't know what's happening. There we are. Okay. As long as you have a line that looks like this, and for every X, there's only one Y, then you're going to have a function. But if it ever looks like this or this, if for one X you can have several Y values, it's not a function. And that it doesn't, some people get confused by that. It doesn't have to be confusing. Don't let it be confusing. If you come up with, if you do some wild and crazy math and you get that your answer is, the answer can be plus or minus the square root of 8, then it's not a function, because -8 and +8, that's two different answers. A function can only have one answer. Here's your function. You have one thing that you put in the function called an input, and you get one answer that comes out, and that's called the output. Like when I do f of 5, my input is 5. And whatever your answer is, you only get one answer, one input, one output. That's a function. If you have more than one output, then it's not a function. Okay, I hope that helped you, and you'll probably have some questions tomorrow, and I am ready to answer them.